This is Mel2224 here with my second album review, if I'm right. I'm probably right. Alright, today I'm going to review Death's album Leprosy, and this album released in late 1988, I'm sure. Yeah, late 1988, late 1988, and this album ranges to be around shorter than 40 minutes, but I think it's like the 37-minute mark. So right now, for those of you guys who don't know who Death is, where the hell have you been? Because seriously, everybody knows who Death is. Well, that listen to Death now. Probably the people who don't know who Death is are probably arrogant skin kids. Just saying. So right now, there were 8 tracks on this album, and now there's 13 on the reissue by Century Media, and all in the live tracks. They're not new tracks or anything like that. So, sorry, that's just my dog. Alright, so this album consists of Chuck Schuldiner on guitars and vocals, who was the sole original member of the band. So when he died of brain cancer in 2001, they couldn't go on because he was the only original member. Like, I heard of a couple of bands that actually went on without any original members. So the band consists of Chuck Schuldiner on guitars and vocals, Rick Ross guitar, Bill Andrews drums, and Terry Butler bass. But Terry Butler actually did not record on this album. He did not record bass at all. He didn't record anything on this album actually, if I'm sure. And I know Chuck Schuldiner did the bass on this album, but he didn't credit himself. I think he credited Terry on this album. Now basically, Terry Butler is basically he's a well-known bassist in the death metal world, for those of you guys who don't know. So this album is a classic death metal album. Now the album previously, Scream Bloody Road, was kind of like a thrashy album. It had more thrash elements, like what would I say, possessed or something like that. Yeah, it had like more of a possessed feel to it. But then Leprosy came out, and then nobody heard anything like it. I mean, like, this is like an album that no one heard before. Like, no one heard that much aggression and stuff like that. Like, basically, the other death metal bands were like kind of like just forming, but they are actually the first death metal band. They formed in 1983. So right now, this album is a solid. This is a solid album. Awesome guitar work, awesome solos by Chuck and Rick, and the drum work is actually really awesome. And the bass, well, usually the bass I really can't hear that much, but in this album I can hear the bass quite often. Usually in the tracks like Leprosy and stuff like that. So there are 8 tracks on this album. It's Leprosy, Born Dead, Forgotten Past, Left to Die, Pull the Plug, Open Casket, Primitive Ways, and Choke on You. It's really good. Now this album is really brutal here. For those of you guys who are basically, if you guys have friends that don't listen to metal at all and you need to give them like a couple of CDs, I would recommend you guys to give that guy or girl a CD like this. Because basically, this album influenced death metal as we know it. They influenced great bands. I don't know. Death metal has influenced deathcore, which I kind of listen to, but I'm not a big fan of. Like, it's an okay subgenre. So death metal kind of influenced deathcore, stuff like that. So basically, all the tracks are solid, and basically I would give this an 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Because this album is just a solid, great album. There's actually no bad tracks on this album, and I'll just give this an 8 out of 10. There's very few albums in this world that people will give a solid 10 out of 10. Because it's just really rare. But there's a lot of albums out there that suck. Probably give like lower than 5. But still, Real Life Records, I think they're planning on reissuing it. I think. I'm not sure about that actually, because I know that Relapse Records has been reissuing a lot of albums like Individual Through Penance, Sign of Perseverance. I think they're planning on reissuing Spiritual Healing. They did Leprosy. I forgot that album name. I think it's called like Human, yeah. Yeah, I got it, Human. Alright, so basically this album is a very, very, very great album. Basically Chuck Schuldiner is the main lyricist in the band, and usually he writes most of the guitar work, most of the music work basically. He's kind of like the Dave Mustaine of death metal. Like he kind of writes all his stuff, and it's rare that you see. Basically, it's rare to see other members of Death writing lyrics or music of the song. Now, in the first album, Spiritual Healing, they were like a thrash feel, and then from Leprosy to I think Individual Through Patterns, they were death metal. But then when they got onto Symbolic and Sound of Perseverance, like they were on the progressive death metal feel. So basically, I recommend this to anyone who listens to metal. Anyone, well, who at least hasn't heard the album, which it's a few people that I kind of know that never heard of Death as their scene. So who could blame scene? They just suck. But still, this album is very, very awesome. And till next time, till my next video, keep it metal.